check, radio check. Lurk and Work is in the AO. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for another round of, well, we call it drawing? No, we're just rendering stuff actually. We're done with the drawing stuff already, like I said the other day, or rather yesterday. Now working on getting some rendering done on the Super Hobo Wars fan art of Fugumio and their personal ride, the Livy Bell. Fortunately, we started really late today. I did say yesterday that I was going to do the usual bi-monthly stuff that I do in real life that takes me out of the house for work. Well, not exactly work, but it's important stuff, and I can't put it off. Unfortunately, I am late again, so since we've only got, like, probably a little under an hour of safe time, really, we're just gonna go and try to get at least torso done, because I'm not too sure I can actually get that done quickly. I know it shouldn't be that slow, but I'm not really confident that I'm getting the proper rendering for this one. So I might have to double check everything once we go into the thick of it. So without further ado, I'm gonna go in there. Unfortunately, it's going to be fairly quiet again, as is the usual. Well, at least trying to be quiet. I did get a little too much into the yap of things yesterday. What was that noise? So we're currently focusing on getting the torso at least rendered, since we've already finished the head and the backpack. And we'll have the hands and the arms next. Then the arm, the hip armor mostly, or the skirt, armor skirts really, and then we can finish on the legs, and after that, hopefully we'll get Fugumio done and started on. So, not a good time to be distracted, so let's get ahead and focus on getting these done now. So basing on the lighting that was used with the new Gundam image there, well, I'm going to go ahead with this. Okay, that's also more than what you get. Wait, what? Oh, confused. Very confused because there was no line on covering this segment, but it's going to be covered as well here. I'd like to say that I could probably do some more extra rendering off stream right now, but I also have another piece in the backlog I'm currently working on, and that's occupying most of my extra time outside of streams. And unfortunately, that means this one is going to be very, very delayed until I can actually finish the other one first. You know, with my current speed, as far as work is concerned, that's exactly a serious issue. I'm still needing to work on because I need to be faster with all of the stuff in the background that need to be checked. And this thing bothers me. I feel like I made too much. Probably, how about we... No, that's not how it works. You know what? Yeah, we'll just keep it like that then. Now on to the next. Now the inside of the armpit is actually slightly bright, except for the area here on the top, which is almost mostly connected to the shoulder, so I'll be doing some shading on that part. And we're going to be using the blur brush. Somewhere around here, maybe. Here. Something like that, right? Yup, something like that. And then we'll probably do another set of shadows over here near the collarbone area. We even call it collarbone. Since this is, for all intents and purposes, a robot. A mobility suit. So that feels off calling it a collarbone. Let's call it the collar. Let's surf for that way. No, it's not that that's sheen, that's white. That's pure white right there. Oh my god. Absolute state of the weather right now. It says hot days ahead. Thank you, thermostat. Very cool. Or very hot in this case. I think I'm seeing 99, but it feels like it's 103 at this point. It's getting insanely hot. Just not in the peak of May even. I'm very concerned about June. If the El Nino news is actually accurate. They did say there's still a good possibility that it might not happen. But considering how hot it is right now, I'm starting to think it's definitely gonna happen. I'll be spending most of my working days with a very, very thin set of clothes on because holy cow. Good luck trying to work with a regular cotton shirt in this weather. You'll be sweating like a pig before the day's over. like that. For the shoulder lights. Just one big rounding position here. Put your box into it, lads. And we blur them off. Wait, what? Oh. And then we do that. And then we use the brush. Ow. There was a loud noise that I thought people would not like, so I turned the mic off for a bit. Okay, I hope I got the lighting right on this one at least. Probably. Nope. Nope. There, nothing. No, it's the upper part of this torso, which apparently is a bit brighter. This area though is going to be shadowed because it's in the interior. God, I'm crashing. Oh. Did I get the shadow right on that one? Suppose I did. Keep it open there, and now it's the other segment that probably needs some more lining. Oh, it's just the front area. Pretty much done, so let's just... my head. I think I went into a dream state there for a second. Okay, I don't see anything else I can put. Wait a second. Nope. Nope, that's part of the brain, so I can't really do much there. Okay, so we can probably move on to Sheen for this one. Lighten, and then choose white. I think this warm white should be enough for Sheen. I think sometimes I should try and go with something else, like probably deep yellow or something rusty for weathering or some such, but I don't think I'm going to do it right now. I'm kind of terrified to use such fancy stuff on something like this. Where are we? Right, let's start with the, this guy. Inner armpit area, yeah. Slap. Slap, slap, slap. It's gonna be somewhere around this segment here. Some lights here. Keep some segments untouched. Probably gonna be space for the blur. I am ballin'. I am ballin'. I am fading. I have lost a roll. What does lost roll actually do again? it's for anti-triglyceride stuff in the blood. Okay. Why does Lane need Mosterol then? What? Oh. So getting distracted is content now. That's really funny. So, since we can't really do much right now, I think I'm just going to maybe reduce us. Yes. Yeah, something like that. I think I'm just gonna use this time, however brief it is, to decide what I'm gonna do tomorrow instead, because I'm surely gonna need something much more reliable than what we're doing now, which is just emergency more like emergency work, really. So the idea, well, we're stuck with a couple of options. First, we can continue on with either Super Holo or Super Robo Wars, since they're pretty much in a good spot, and continuity is easier with that. Two, I can probably go into the Soviet campaign to World War II, since we've already done the Allied one, and we need to finish the Soviet campaign so we can move on to not Tiberium, Yuri's Revenge, which ironically I haven't finished personally yet after getting the game. I did finish both Allied and Soviet campaigns back in the day, but ever since I got the Ultimate Collection on Steam, I have not touched the Allied campaign yet because I haven't finished the Soviet one. Honestly, dreading playing the Soviet campaign because I honestly had a hard time playing with the very last mission for the Soviet line. Head games, as you might remember, is basically a three-way. Well, technically a three-way, but it's more like three forces from three different factions going off against you, who just came into town to take Yuri out. And since they have access to super weapons early on, you're pretty much SOL unless you move fast. And well, I couldn't move fast back when I first played the campaign in the old days, and then I still couldn't move fast when I got the campaign again with the new edition, which means I am still struggling to get things done. So hopefully if I do end up doing that on stream, we'll be able to work with it much more efficiently and much more effectively. I am balling, I am fading, I have lost her all. should have put some shadows on this part. Dang it. Okay, it gets back to the shadow realm. Shadow. I think it's time for us to go off the rails, because going with the same light setup with reference image isn't exactly doing us any favors. So I'm going to try and fix something up here to work our way up on our own, see if it changes anything. That's kind of good enough. Now this one though, that's definitely gonna need some more lighting. Does it? Oh. If you give me shadows again, something's off. No, it could crash. Okay, I could probably add some more shadows here. I guess it's starting to look like they just went to some sort of cement mixer and got some concrete powder on their unit. This is not really doing us any favors, buddy. Wait, hang on. Should just use this. Dang it. How do we do this? Okay, now that works in a way. It seriously feels like I just threw them through I just threw them across a floor filled with concrete, and now he is very powdery. Can't quite get the shiny appearance. But it'll probably stand out once everything else is rendered, so let's continue on. Okay, time for the green, so I can see if we can actually get this done right. Let's not put any fade ups on that. Everything else should be shut up a bit. did I? Oh, no, I missed a part. Come on, man. I missed this part. Nope, I missed it. I messed up. It should be on the other side. Somewhere around here, maybe. Should be it. Wait, what? What do you mean that? Okay, next up. Back to the greens. Probably needs a bit more cleanup, so I'm going to delete that again. Oh yeah, I felt that. Some shit here. Oh, whoops, I got the wrong color. No, something doesn't feel right here. have been a good time to get a visit to the Chippo. I'd probably, ironically, get more potatoes over fish. So it's rather, instead of fish and chips, it's just chips and chips. And that would be also a good time to make some sour cream as a dip. The store-bought ones are just not working for me as great as it did back in the day. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, wow, seriously? That didn't make sense much. Oh my god, it's spinning. There's not much to work with on this side, maybe. Because this is technically, I think, supposedly made of some sort of magical glass, maybe? Kind of more like Psycho Frame? Does it count as Psycho Frame? Well, not exactly a Psycho Frame. But it kind of does remind me of Psycho Frame segments in a lot of late UC units. Of course, there's these lights too, but that's a different thing altogether. Part's a little too thin. I suppose we'll just have to add some extra details to it later. angles off again? Why do I keep making the angles off again? Not too visible, that's not good. Should I make it slightly darker like this one? Looks like it's actually there. Well, not quite there, but you get the idea. That's just highlighting how badly angled the lights are on this guy. Yeah, that's good enough, I think. Wait. Yeah, somewhere in between. We'll just have to add the sheen up on that later. I got that one right. I should probably just go in this corner here. Now, I think we should go ahead and go into sheen mode now. And clink everything else. Oh, good lord. I think we only have 10 minutes, technically speaking. That was quick. At least we got the torso done. Mostly. Just need to get this thing done. Of course, there's definitely a good chance that I will still be cleaning this up afterwards. So there's that. Do I have the resources to do that effectively? Torso, 1 second. That's the only green seconds for the torso, right? Yes. That's not quite what I had in mind. Not quite the right angle, too. Just somewhere in the corner. Somewhere around here then. Oops. What? Okay, that could work. That can't be right. I guess I could probably adjust some of the shadowing here, so at least on this right side, so it doesn't look like it's too flat. How about here? Okay, that can work. Now to get with everything else here. Oh. Well, somehow or other, I think the torso is somewhat done. A bit delayedly. What's the clock say? Yep, just on time, I think. Good timing too, because I feel like I'm gonna crash out from tiredness. Not exactly a good thing, but well, I did do a little running around before the stream, so I think this is a good spot to end here today. Thank you so much for dropping by. Sorry that it was very late and very short. Well, this is typically to be expected when I'm doing the stuff I need to do outside. It's usually twice a month too, so it is what it is. We just have to roll with the punches. And hopefully that's not too much to discourage you from dropping by and watch again next time. Well, art style, art-wise, I'm not too sure when we're going to continue this, because I am once again thinking of continuing some of the games we have in the backlog over the next few days. So in that case, I hope you also check in for those streams, especially tomorrow, which I actually don't have any plans for yet. I'll have to check it out with myself before I go to bed, and then I'll probably set up the waiting room tomorrow. Either way, if you got any complaints or violent reactions about the stream tonight, I would really be grateful if you could drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv. If you got a hankering for older streams that have expired here on Twitch, or you want to check out the VODs and the other streams we've already done on YouTube, you can always check the VOD archive linked in the About tab of my profile page, and also searchable on YouTube under the same channel name. That's Lurker Work with a U instead of an O. By the way, if you're currently checking the VOD, thanks for dropping by. Sorry that this one was short. That's all on me. But that's regular for certain days of the month. Hopefully it won't discourage you from checking the VODs as well. But maybe you might finally find the time to watch the channel live. That'd be really appreciated, but not required. Any view is a good view. That helps me get some exposure, I think. Hopefully even every tiny bit of checking in would be enough to get us on the algorithm. Speaking of the channel, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream, or who just wants to complain about PG streamers in general, I would really be grateful if you can share my channel with them. Twitch.tv/LurkerWork, and also LurkerWork on YouTube. Once again, that's work with a U instead of an O. Well, that's all from me for now. Once again, tomorrow might be a video game stream, so I hope you drop in to check that out. Still undecided on what it will be though, so keep an ear out on socials for that. For the time being though, if you're still in the mood to watch something on Twitch, if you are on Twitch that is, I can send you over to somebody who's currently doing a collab stream. Well, it's either a collab stream or they're playing solo. Either way, this might be interesting for you, so I can send you over now. But if you're heading out for the night and pretty much out for the rest of the evening, I hope you have a great rest of your evening, yes. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night for those who are heading out, and stand by for those who are about to be